Not this one, not that one. We did see Zeka play this.
Yeah.
And he smashed with it.
He did. Fizz is like the closest thing to a hard counter into TF that we have in League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like, it is absurdly hard to play that lane. And so that's why he picked it in that instance. Victor is going to be the lock-in, though, a lot more cool, calm, and collected as they just go for the control mage matchup. And this is the other option. And this is like the weird situation that HANWHA Esports got themselves into, which is we're going to half ban away the options, but Ziggs is absolutely fine. I think it put it on par with the Mel as far as the more, I guess, like sorcerers in the bottom lane.
Sure.
Mages is the word I was looking for, and I found it in the end.
The awesome dudes.
Yeah, as Blind Jace with Yorick open is going to be the last lock-in.
I think this draft does not have legs here for HANJIN Brioin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, they've got the champions all have 10 legs, but the draft as a whole.
No, the champions don't all have 10 legs. That'd be 50 legs.
Okay, you know what I'm saying, Alex. Stop it. I feel like when I look at what HANWHA have put together here, they've got a front line for a Caitlyn Bard lane that should be winning naturally.
Here from HLE, not something that requires all that much exciting stuff to happen. But let's get into it. Game number 1. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1 of HANWHA Esports versus Bro. The Bros with the ability to push HLE into 3rd place. With a victory of any kind in this series, they will not be able to equalize things with Gen G and T1, and will therefore be knocked down to 3rd.
Yeah.
If they win, 1st place, no worries. Yeah, loss is 3rd. It's kind of nutty, as now I'm going aggressive here towards Gumayusi. One thing I do want to say about the whole Ziggs versus Caitlyn situation is that Ziggs is strong at very different times to the Caitlyn, and then strong at the very end, like Caitlyn is.
Yeah.
So they can fight around like 2 items for the bottom lane and feel very good about it. But like you say, it does require, I think, casting being in a good spot, being able to create pressure, and for them to be able to pull HLE around the map and avoid some of these front-to-back fights in the mid to late game.
If HANJIN Brioin never lose control of the map, as this is going to be an aggressive attempt at a trade.
Owie. Oh, good sidestep there from Namgung, because otherwise he could have almost just had to go back home.
This is what I was talking about yesterday a little bit, as level 2 gets hit here with Nautilus plus Mage. You know, when you're playing into 80 carry and the enemy team can continue to fight when you go for that dredge line, Teddy's like, I pressed Q, and Guma's like, I don't need buttons. I'm going to hit you with my right click, and I'm going to keep hitting you, and I'm going to keep doing damage, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm a mage. I don't really do damage that way. Unless he's got his short fuse up, he just really doesn't. So you got to be careful about trading, but they are able to trade a little bit back before they get level 2. I just think that if Bro never lose control of the map, and they can constantly have prio, and the poke is going to land from Teddy and from casting as HLE struggle to get map control back and struggle to come towards objectives. Yeah, this comp is great. Works really well. If they can't get to you, even the Caitlyn who's long range is going to have problems. Zeka's fairly fragile on this Victor. And they just get chipped away at. But I just don't think that's how this is going to go.
Yeah, I would agree. There's also the Kanavi issue. And Kanavi versus Gideon is something that you brought up earlier. Something that Gideon was able to pilot pretty effectively in some of their previous matchups. But I think so much is going to be leaning on him in this game.
Romer may be dead.
Oh, yeah. And that's a flash in from Delight. Great reaction, but it's just not good enough, as Romer is going to be taken down and is now without his flash, as Gideon going to get Volt broken. Does manage to land the Q, but of course Delight is here.
So
a little bit late.
Talked about how prio can mess up the jungle with blue side, where Kanavi can come in and start taking your camps away. They were like, let's try something different. Let's just get the roaming Bard to take out the Orianna who's struggling in lane and just kill Romer with a flash over the wall at full health. And there was just no response. Bro did not expect it. And Romer was on the wrong side of his turret, and he just dies. So that was a very aggressive play. Flash traded, but absolutely worth it here for Delight. And Guma was just pushing 1v2. Like, if you look at the minimap right now, look at how much power they have, even with Delight not being there. And Romer is on the wrong side of the turret, so it's just an easy play here for Delight, because he just doesn't expect Romer that Delight's going to come in and flash over the wall, then magical journey out.
It's actually like
at level 3.
It's such a good play as well, like making sure that he flashes first. It's now Gideon finds the cripple onto Zeka, but he makes it back to his turret, and so the Lee Sin just going to back away. Gravity Field goes down. Romer is still farming just fine in this matchup, although there is a full wave to catch here for Zeka. Not the end of the world. It is still not a great time, as first blood over to the Victor is a worrying start.
I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been you. It might have been Valdez. I don't know, but someone said something that was so true the other day after Zeka played his first.
Valdez.
Zeka played his first Victor game in a while and popped off, and we were like, I guess he's good at this now too. Like, remember when he played Ziggs, and we were like, oh, is Ziggs as good now? Is Victor's good now?
Is Oriana's good now?
Yeah,
he was playing that at DWC and was looking really good. It's kind of nutty that Zeka is now.
He just keeps leveling up. He just keeps improving his champion pool, because that was the biggest criticism anyone could have of him over his career. Even in his most dominant era, even when he won a world championship, we were like, yeah, but he can't. You know, his Zero's a little sussy, and like, he can't play Corky. So. And like, even winning a world championship wasn't enough for people to be like, I think he's got it figured out. It took a little bit longer than that, but you know, here we are in 2026, and Zeus?
Yeah, in a bit of trouble here. Charges up the Q, and now he's just going to have to back away for a little while, casting in a really good spot here in this lane, and there is not a Vi to speak of in the area, and so it should be casting, retaining a lot of this control, and just taking the stacks off this Cull over and over again. As Zeka going forward, Gravity Well will push Romer in the direction that Zeka wants him to go. And Romer's going to have to get out of the way of this Arcane Storm.
Romer wants to hit level 6 here and make a play with Gideon. Gideon also doesn't have 6 though, so I think Zeka is going to be fine. He has Flash and a huge wave.
Yeah,
he's playing very aggressively though.
Yeah, there is a Vi making his way over. The Shockwave hits the air. Oh! Does the anchor, the sidesteps from Zeka, my goodness! All right.
Yeah, I don't...
He's playing a guy with a cane. You know, how is he this nimble?
Well, it's like he just turned his head slightly to the side. You know? Like an anime. Zeus still fairly low here.
Oh dear, let's hope that he's not shopping.
Casting is low on mana as well, so I don't think this is going to work. Gets the back stopped.
Going to be interrupted there, as now Gideon's making his way over, and will be able to safeguard mostly into range. The flash kick into the wall, and a very dead Cassante will even up the kill score here between HLE and Bro.
Yeah, I think Zeus had the flash there. Wanted to hold it though, and dies as a result because Gideon lines up the kick first to guarantee the Q. The safeguard engage flash onto the Cassante.
Yeah, didn't give Zeus a lot of options.
Yeah, you could see the... I think his only option was to flash just in case, basically, and he opted not to do that. As right now, you know, he's still fine, Gideon shows up, and it's like, as soon as you see that safeguard, you're probably got to flash. Because then you're out of Gideon's flash kick range. And that feels so bad if you just flash and he doesn't have to flash, but would have been the only way he survived, but he might still die to a follow-up play from Gideon if he did that. So it was just really not a whole lot of options. Good play from both Casting and Gideon to set that up.
Yeah, and now Kanavi yet to really find too much of an angle here as Gumayusi is not allowed to go home. Teddy throws a Mega Inferno Bomb at him, and the Ziggs having an alright time. And this is why the Ziggs is so strong in this matchup, is because you can just kind of get yourself to parity. You've got teleport. You're not really too worried. And now Gumayusi's almost just dead to Teddy, who will be able to throw down a minefield. Looks for the bouncing bomb, and yeah, Gumayusi is not able to hit the wave.
He doesn't get those last few minions, but it's not the end of the world. He'll be able to go back, but Teddy is so healthy and so full of mana that he's just going to keep putting this pressure on Zeka.
Yeah, gets the flash out with the Shockwave. Nicely done there from Roma. But still, Zeka is just fine. Just going to have to play a little bit more defensively for the next little while. But it's good to see the bros keeping the pressure up.
It's that bro activity every time. Gideon having a great early game here. And Namgung also able to pilot this bottom lane really well on this Nautilus. And suddenly now with flash advantage here for Romer, feels a lot better than it did moments before. He's still massively far behind in this early game, but feels a lot more flexible. And HLE, though, are going to be able to get this bottom side control, the back timing of Teddy. And Guma heading back to lane at full health, so they will get the first dragon. But this game is going better for Bro than I really thought it was going to go, especially after the early trades in lane and that first blood for Zeka.
Yeah, I would agree. Somehow Gideon missed the grubs, with that Q?
It's because he loves them so much.
Yeah, that's
he
what
doesn't want to hurt them. He just wants to kind of captivate them.
Well, Delight is heading on over, seeing what he can find. As Gideon really does want to take some grubs, but you've got Kanavi moving on up.
Roamer doesn't have his ult yet, so it's really tough. Is Gideon just going to smite this one away?
Yeah, we'll be able to take the first one here.
And we're just going to let it go.
Okay. Looks like the bros will be able to lock these down, and that is a very happy Gideon as a response, as a result.
Yeah, Zeka didn't have prio, and even though Roamer didn't have his ultimate, if they went for a longer fight, as you guys could see, it's coming up in 10 seconds right now, so fairly risky play to try to contest there, and Gideon will get his beloved grubs, all three. And this is, again, another small win for Bro in this early game. And the Orion is going to be a lot more powerful, a lot faster than the Victor in terms of teamfight impact, as this ward is high value for casting.
Oh, yeah. That is another gank, I think, that he has mitigated. So very nicely done. And casting, as you set out very early on, needs to be doing well in this game. Misses a cannon, but so far is doing just fine.
Navi left. Gideon might be able to set up a second one.
Yep, they're looking to try and find it here. Doesn't have flash, but there's the Pathmaker. Another kick, and Gideon says, I can do this all day.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 for 2 on these topside ganks.
It's exactly the same play.
Yeah, literally. Except this time he didn't have to flash for the kick.
Yeah.
And Zeus just caught out again, and that's going to be another plate here, it looks like, for casting with the overgrowth coming through as well. Just a fantastic game state here for Bro. All of a sudden, casting is a menace. All of a sudden, casting is a big problem.
Yeah, and also, Gideon took both of the kills, right? So this Lee Sin can now move a lot of aggression and money around the map. You can see Kanavi is, without his first item completion, Gideon does have that Sundered Sky, but casting's still 850 gold ahead because he's taken so many plates.
Exactly, and he's got those 2 assists as well, so they spread the gold in such a great way here across these two. I think it would have still been okay and quite solid if casting had picked up the kills, right? But in this ideal world, now they have a Lee Sin that's tempo advantage, plus the Jace that's going to naturally be able to take this lead and push it further. He's got a cull as well, mind you, and 30 stacks to cash in, so that lead can get even larger, and he is really going to explode after that first item. As in live, we do have another attempt here from Gideon.
Yeah, going aggressive, but there are 3 people on the side of HLE looking to try and defend. Having a little watch here, and as soon as the Pathmaker gets used, Gideon's like, well, I can kick you now.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have any option there, except trying to flash earlier, which he opted a second time not to do. But his health was low, so if they just follow up, he probably dies anyways, so...
Yeah, this is it's a good look for the bros. I reckon as far as tempo vibes are concerned, I'm starting to feel it.
I am absolutely feeling it.
Zeus, though, he might be feeling it as well, as Delight going to get the flash out, and now Shockwave connects, but doesn't really do much of anything, and Gideon's going to go down. Tempered Fate connects onto 2 as the Arcane Storm slowly heads over there. They'll take a Blast Cone out, though, and sometimes the Caster Curse is very real. I really hope that Chronicle is watching.
Yeah.
Because that was such a real Caster Curse.
It was so real, especially because there was almost no reason for Bro to be that way.
And it was so immediate.
Yeah. That was like the most proof of caster curses ever. As they could have just tried to push towards Zeus here, but they were a little bit concerned about Kanavi being there. They wanted to use the pit to get out, and the chain CC comes on to the Lee Sin. And the Lee Sin is the one who's like, I should be the most fine to get out of here because I'm Lee Sin, but they just chain CC'd him before he could actually get out of there. And Namgung also expended his flash in order to escape, so double win there.
Oh dear, now you've got a teleport invested as well into this play, as casting is well and truly dead, and Zeka is going to get delivered the kill. He's like, give me the kill, otherwise this teleport is completely wasted.
Yeah.
And they do it.
And now he's 1,200 gold ahead. And caster curse and a casting curse all at once.
Yes.
As he goes too far forward there. They get the teleport out of Zeka, but Roamer only gets 1 plate in return. Looks like Teddy will get a second one here, so he'll get 2 plates in this bottom lane while Delight was roaming. But actually not quite able to get that second one. But still, I mean, this is a huge win for Honda Life Esports to actually get a pretty massive lead, as Delight's sidestep is good.
Yeah, pretty nice. Able to get behind the terrain, so the rotund hitbox of the Bard is not as much of a problem. But it looks like the bros still playing on the front foot, still trying to be aggressive as they immediately leave as soon as I say that. I think I'm going to stop trying to predict anything in this game because I have a lot of fear about what I am going to begin.
Yeah, you're the puppeteer right now.
Yeah, I don't mean to be.
And in this Dragon setup, Brion do have Prio. Like, Roamer's dropping waves. It looks like HLE are not really interested in contesting this. As you can see, Zeka's trying to push for plates right now. This is an Infernal Dragon, so a lot of stats value here.
Yep, and it's going to be a Hextech again.
Wow.
The saturation of Hextech Dragons in this final week of round 2 has been ridiculous.
Is this 5 in a row? I think were we all 4 yesterday? I want to say we were all 4 yesterday.
It felt like all 4.
And then now a 5th one? That's just
too many.
Absurd. I get it. Like, we always wanted Hextech Soul. It's very exciting, but like, let's not overdo it. You know that joke that somebody tells it's very funny, but they just keep telling it. You're like, all right, you killed it. Now it's not funny anymore. Now Hextech Soul just isn't epic anymore.
Yeah,
we didn't have a lot of souls taken yesterday, and we just had a lot of souls on the Rift.
Well, we had some one-sided games yesterday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. For DNS and for BNK Furex, although BNK Furex versus T1 was at least interesting for a little while in a few of those games. But we digress. Let's get back to HLE versus Bro, as there is a bit of a siege towards his top lane. And by siege, I mean Zeka is here. And he is very, very frightening on this Victor. Actually, a big bounty on his head as well. I imagine that the Bros would like to try and cash in on that.
Yeah, I don't think they should try to fight for this Herald, on the other hand, right now with no setup, and these traps are coming in.
Oh, Namgung will at least try and do something. The teleport is going to get interrupted, though, and Zeus still has his. Bouncing bomb goes wide, safeguard required, and the Ziggs is tagged. Gideon looking for an angle here. There's the kickback onto the light, gets tagged by the Shockwave and destroyed by the Mega Inferno Bomb. But Gideon going to go down as well. Namgung is going to catch Kanavi, but Kanavi doesn't care about that. That's just going to be more money over to Zeka. And HLE, yeah, the orange tank is doing a bunch of work here in this game.
Yeah, the orange tank is a siege tank right now.
Yes.
And it's in siege mode, getting that turret and an additional charge here to get a majority of this turret. Casting says no! And now he's like,
very cute.
Actually, I might die now. This is not fair.
Well, there is a teleport coming in. It's going to take a little while to kill the Grasp of the Undying Jace, but Roamer, I don't think, is going to be able to punish anyone.
Roamer doesn't have his ult, so I don't think so. I think you're right. I don't think he can, and
there is also a bard
here as
well.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Zeus has gone all out. I mean, he has flash, but he was always going to die. And
I am
all of
just
a sudden,
watching
it's a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I'm watching all of the Bros in domino shapes falling over one by one in this game, as this commitment to the contest, where the Jace in broad daylight commits to the TP, was super weird. The Gideon still makes this play here, and Roamer is able to get to light, but he commits his Shockwave onto a single target, so that means that the rest of the team that's stuck, who Namgung is trying to walk through traps to rejoin, it's not going to have a good time. Namgung gets burst down, and then they try to stop the Herald charge here. I mean, Casting was in trouble no matter what. At least he is able to stop the charge, but he just dies. Committing this TP, I think, was several bridges too far.
He needed to do it so much earlier.
Yes.
Right? That's the thing. If you're going to do it on time or don't do it at all,
exactly.
I think is how it's supposed to go. And then Roamer thinks that with a health bar that's quite high, he's going to be okay, but Zeus still had ulti, so he was just almost always going to die there. Now 0-2 on the Orianna, 2.3k the advantage just in the mid lane. As an anchor is thrown down here, but Namgung is the one that's in trouble, I imagine. Cosmic Binding does come on through, and now Depth Charge onto Gumayusi. Q going to connect, Mega Inferno Bomb does come on down, and no, that 1-2 punch, just gorgeous. Gumayusi going to be taken out. That looks like to be all they're going to get from this one, though. It's a Tempered Fate, comes on through. Gideon looking for an angle once again, but Teddy, he is going to get destroyed as well, as T180 carries eliminated from the battlefield.
Yeah. I mean, I'm liking what we're seeing here with Gideon's kicks. I'm liking it. You know, he's had, what, 4 great kicks that have led to kills this game.
Yeah.
And that's all of their kills. He's been kicking back. The bad guy isn't leading kills there. However, not able to win what happens next in any of these big fights. That was really cool. Like, Casting was ready for the kick into the shock blast. Everything looked great. And then, you know, they're just way too far forward and they end up
And there's
getting
also
caught.
just no damage follow-up, right? As the Bros are going to step on a control ward.
It's a lot of bounty
really want
gold.
to kill Zeka, who is here towards his bottom side, and they are underneath the turret trying to deal with him. They get their target, right? But the tower falls down in the top lane. Casting's dead as well as Gideon, and the Drake is spawning in 20 seconds. Zeus doesn't even need to go down there.
And it's a kill to Gideon as well. So he had the early lead, but it doesn't feel useful anymore.
Oh, that was pretty cute from Teddy. But I don't know whether it's all that necessary. It's immediately flashing as soon as you get to a lane is not really what you want to happen.
If this kill goes over to the Jace, it feels so much better. And, I mean, not this kill. This was the play from a really long time ago where Gideon is able to set up this kick. Up to the follow-up here for the dredge line. No, not dredge line, but the ultimate.
Yep.
There from Namgung. And it's the depth charge, struggling to get that one across. But this play from Delight means that Teddy also dies. No ability to flash this, so doesn't even try and just goes down. And then here, Zeka, man, I want to see this guy play Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is going on? This can't hit him. And he lives for so long that Gideon has to commit the second Q to secure the kill, which means Casting doesn't get the kill. They both die.
I mean,
so
it
yeah,
was
you got your
positive gold trade in that bottom trade because of the massive bounty that Zeka had. But it's money on Lee Sin, and you lost like a tower in the top lane as well. Zeus got a whole bunch of money, and you can see...
Yeah, just not worth.
Yeah, it's certainly not worth. 4,000 gold is the approximate lead here for HLE.
Teddy has a gold lead, and he has 2 items, so...
That's something.
That's good news. If they can isolate a target or two, that extra burst that he has with his Shadow Flame will come in handy. Namely, if he catches Gumayusi or if Zeka is out of position, can follow up and take him out very easily. That's the hope here for Bro. If you could win that first initial pick, then maybe you could win a 5v5 fight. But otherwise, there's just too much consistent damage here for HANWHA Life Esports. They've already, basically, in my mind, hard outscaled.
Yeah.
We're only 20 minutes in, but these leads, like Zeka's 3,000 gold lead, means they can afford to buy an arm guard. So he has extra safety to avoid that pick situation I was just alluding to. 2 levels down is Casting after a great start in this game, and it's just all gone HLE shaped in this one.
Yeah, it is. It's a 30 CS lead for a Cassante in the Jace matchup now, after he was 0-2 in lane. Things have certainly gone immediately wrong as soon as Atlas mentioned the fact that the Bros had some tempo vibes. I do need to apologize. I paid bro tax twice already.
Well, I think you mentioned the more you trust, the more you believe, the more you, the more
they're not underdogs. That is a really good point. Well,
Casting is like, I'm gonna get this romp.
Well, we'll see whether he can, or whether that's even a good idea to go for, as he is just going to leave. Gideon wants Gumayusi. Let's see whether they can grab that kill, as he's pressed Ghost and he's running away. Teleport in from Roma. I mean, that's another pretty suspicious teleport. As in goes Zeus. He really wanted that Tempered Fate to do something. So there it is. Success. Gideon now just going to have to try and safeguard his way out. The cease and desist comes through. Very dead Lee Sin. And wow, I've never seen a Lee Sin look that blind before. But I understand he is a blind champion.
Okay. Well, there's a turret to get in return for this Baron. Enemy jungler that's dead, as they're going to commit to a contest with the Ziggs bomb.
All right, well, Mega Inferno Bomb looked like it did kind of nothing.
It was informed by a locket.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't think they're going to contest the actual Baron. However, maybe they can kill someone. Delight is very low, but he flashes away. Zeus now looking for Casting, who takes a very short magical journey, but will at least be able to survive. There is a dead Namgung as well, with the ace in the hole catching up to him. And HLE, they will be able to go 1-for-1 in the fight after securing the Baron. Yeah,
I don't think that was a bad call from Bro. Like, even though it was a 1-for-1 trade, they didn't get multiple kills and they didn't deny the Baron or anything like that. They at least were able to make this not a free Baron. There was a small cost associated with it. Delight's the one who gets pinched here, so he's able to buy a ton of time with his magical journey, and that means that Roamer's not hitting the rest of these targets. Teddy isn't able to offer more than an ult on the other side, and Delight was able to also use the locket during his ultimate to prevent a majority of that damage from coming through from the Super Mega Inferno Bomb.
Aha!
And
Super Mega Death Inferno Bomb rocket. That's what I like.
Super duper rocket bomb.
Yeah.
Boomba. Plus
Remember when Jinx and Ziggs were like meta at the same time?
Yeah.
God, that was annoying. It was just...
I never say his ult right.
Mega Inferno Bomb, that's it. That's all you needed to do. You said it right like 4 times. I just made it worse. As now Zeus is going 1 versus 2, and it's working. As Gideon looking to catch up to him, he does get pushed back. There's the kick finally, as they're just playing keep away with this K'Sante, who's staying alive for such a long time, but will eventually fall. But in the meantime, HLE are wiping out inner turrets across this map and looking to break open the base.
Gideon and Casting are like, remember what we did in the early game? That was fun. Let's remember the old days. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go dive at K'Sante. Forget about the base, you know, forget about long-term plans and problems. Let's kill K'Sante. They did. Their inhibitor is under fire very shortly here from a Caitlyn and a pushing Baron. Kanavi also looking for a bit of a wraparound here. And I think that might be the end of this push. Casting completes his back, doesn't commit to the full turret. And that's the call for HLE to just say, you know, Hextech Soul's pretty good. Let's back away. Let's get Soul Point.
And does this mean that Kanavi is going to 9-0 on Vi so far this season?
Yeah, I think so.
That is a pretty good scoreline.
It's pretty solid, yeah. He's doing a lot of the winning.
Yeah. Gumayusi also doing a lot of the not needing to avoid stuff, which was kind of cute, as the Shock Blast goes violently wide. Gideon looking for a bit of an angle here as looks to get on top of Guma, but not able to find him. Does get the flash out of the Caitlyn. That is good news. As now Kanavi going aggressive onto Namgung. He runs out of his Aftershock, and that's going to mean that he's very, very dead. Gumayusi just walks up to him and shoots him.
All right, well, that's a lot of the engage gone here for Bro. Zeka's just looking for Roamer.
My goodness. Okay, Roamer takes half of his health bar in damage to just a few buttons from Zeka. He does step on a minefield, though, and takes a lot of damage.
Yeah. This
Ziggs
turret
is actually doing something here.
Turret's still alive, but they are acting like it's not, as they have a huge wave coming through. The Baron's gone, but they're just going to look for the second inhibitor here. And they don't need to push further. They don't actually need to get this inhibitor, but they leave it open. So 2 inhibitors are open here in the base of HANJIN BRION, and they have to fight for, in 4 minutes time, the Hextech Soul, 6,500 at least, gold behind. HANWHA Life are actually doing the thing where they just play measured a little bit. Remember last time they played against each other at this game state, it was very similar. They just kind of sent it into the base, and Bro defended it, and the game got like extended to like 35 minutes. It's not what's happening the second time around. They're learning. They're evolving.
Yeah. And now Gumayusi has a rapid-fire cannon, getting closer and closer towards 4 items, which is when this Caitlyn is going to be very, very scary. And I like this look from HLE. I know that, you know, this is somewhat more towards the more boring side of the LCK, but I feel like HLE were a little bit too fast and loose at the beginning of the season. And this is more of that freight train macro play, not to mention the fact that this is the composition that they drafted.
Yeah, it's not that we're saying that HLE couldn't do this before, but they were shying away from it. And this is also not the first series where they showcased that they can play a slower style.
Yeah,
but they're doing it a lot more often recently.
And they used to pick scaling drafts and then just play it as if it's like an early game comp.
Yes.
And it looked really silly. This is them picking a scaling draft and showing that they know exactly how to pilot it. And it looks really difficult for the Bros to deal with. Tempered Fate gets a flash out of Namgung. Delight has really leveled up this Bud. The only one with a few losses on the champion that he picked here, as we have obviously the 8-0 Vi for Kanavi, and Gumayusi on 4-0 before this one starts on the Caitlyn. Definitely having some good games so far.
This Victor Siege is pretty strong. Obviously the wave clear of Teddy is going to keep them in this game a little bit longer, right? He's able to clear these so fast that HANWHA Life Esports, even with their Victor push and with this group up with the Caitlyn, are just not quite able to take this out, as Guma wants a rapid-fire cannon shot to get that last plate, but he's just going to play safe instead, which is the right call. And they will take this turret out.
Yeah, slowly but surely, going to be able to grab that one now. About 35 seconds until the Baron is available, as Kanavi might get taken out here. They do throw the kitchen sink at him. And let's see, yeah, just going to be able to flash away. Shock Blast not quite going to connect. And Kanavi's GA is now on cooldown. But at least his body isn't on cooldown.
They did not get the satchel after the GA respawn, so he lives, and there can be a contest for Baron. Bro have to keep pushing this. Like, they cannot just let HANWHA get a free back here. They have to push them back, delay their backs, and hope that they can actually rush this Baron down. That's got to be the game plan here.
Yep. Gideon knows the task, as flash out from casting, not going to get caught by the Tempered Fate. As the Bros are grouped up, Kanavi stuck around. Now without flash, and going to finally be going back now. So a possible window here for the Bros to find an angle towards this this Baron, but I just don't think that it's all that in the realm of possibility. They don't have a lot of consistent damage.
Yeah, Zeus is building so much MR as well right now that you could see that Teddy can't really hurt him. Obviously, when you have the Orianna and the Ziggs, you're like, Jace probably isn't going to kill him. Can we kill him? Can anyone kill him? You're like, maybe we shouldn't even hit him.
Oh, that's a good item.
Yeah, that's a good item, but is it too late? I mean, it's going to be a lot of extra stats for a potential take here, but they don't have an AD carry, like you mentioned. They can't rush the Baron, and they're going to need to, like, you know, get an turret. Like, they need to get that outer turret in mid, I think, before they could really consider trying to push for a Baron start. I mean, they're heading towards it right now.
And there is still so much vision from HLE in the area at the same time. And yeah, 25 seconds, and that is Soul Point available for HLE already. So the Bros going to get pulled around the map. This is the value of Soul Point. As Casting's on a bit of a flank angle, they at least have a control ward down. But HLE are just waiting for them. They know that they have to make this mistake. As Tempered Fate going to get collected here by Namgung, who didn't have flash, is going to go for a bit of a re-engage here. Knew that he was in a lot of trouble as Mega Inferno Bomb does go down. Ace in the hole, though, will finish him off. The three-man shockwave is decent. The kickback onto Guma as Gideon. That was such a weird resonating strike. But unfortunately, HLE are going to be able to make it out. They are limping, but the Bros just couldn't finish him off.
They're so low that maybe Brion can actually get this Dragon potentially here during their resets. If it is Hextech, so there's Hextech gates they can use to try to rush back over here for a contest. As you can see on the minimap, they're heading over right now. They have to rush the town so fast. They're so slow with it.
Yeah, they have to commit to this as Kanavi is moving over. There's going to be no smite, so they will be able to secure the Dragon. But now Zeus is looking for the fight. He pushes a whole bunch of them back. As the light comes on over, Teddy gets engaged on by the Bard. As in the meantime, you've got an all-out from Zeus trying to kill Roma, who's completely out of mana. But Gideon gets on top of him. Zeus is going to go down, and now Teddy is all right. Was able to get over the wall. And the Bros heist will be successful. They only have to sacrifice Casting.
Yeah, but now they're the ones with the low health bars. They're the ones who have to reset. Now, Teddy and Roma both have TP here. HANWHA Esports, even with this Caitlyn sitting on IE, are not actually, I think, poised to take this Baron right now because of those TPs, because of the contest possibility. With no front line here, this gets a little bit more interesting here. At 6,500 goal lead has not changed, and we're getting more and more items, so you know, this could be winnable. As this is a bit of an over-aggressive play here from HLE to kill Namgung when so much of the damage is coming through. This angle for Gideon, by the way, is he goes in so late, and the Delight is his target because he's like, all right, well, I can't kill Guma, but I can follow here through the wall, but he can't actually follow fully through the wall because he went early. If he waited till the end.
If he waited, does he maybe just like
lose the Q?
Kill him and die or something though? Like,
yeah, or like I guess like he probably would have persisted. I guess he was like, I don't want to lose the Q, but I think that he had plenty of time to wait. As then Zeus gets cut off here as they're trying to cut Bro off from the retreat. So wonky, funky fight situation as HLE now have a lot of vision control over this Baron. But again, all the Bros are here. They've got a lot of pokes, so they have to actually two-man this and keep the Bros honest because they don't have vision. But I think this is the right call here for HLE. So measured.
Yeah, Gideon now going to try and move in as Kanavi in the area. There is the Tempered Fate onto 3. They're going to try and rush down the Baron, and they will secure it as Namgung able to anchor himself to safety. There's the ulti out as Gumayusi does find some damage of his own. But that is so much invested just to get themselves out after they watched the Baron get taken by HLE.
Yeah, and you know, it's in this moment where Delight just makes the exact right call. He's like, all I have to do is buy time. We press Smite. Now we have Baron and we can push to end.
Yep, it's beautifully done. They will take this first inhibitor in the mid lane. The one in the bottom lane was almost just dead anyway.
I think they don't even necessarily need minions for it. Zeka's just going to walk up and take it.
Yep. And so the Bros, they do lose 2 inhibitors, but their Nexus is still alive. And all 5 members up and available for now. Not a whole lot of flashes left as Roma able to dash cannon his way out. Cease and desist from Kanavi, but he's so far into the enemy base that he's destroyed by the fountain laser. And no, I'm not talking about Teddy, but he is creating such a distraction that the rest of HLE are able to take down both Nexus turrets. Still a 4 versus 5 as Zeus is going to make it a 4 versus 4. Teddy going to get hit by the Tempered Fate alongside Zeus, and Zeka closes in on the Ziggs. Casting still with a bit of damage here, but so does Gumayusi, and the Nexus will fall. HLE claim game number 1 over the Bros.